Hey, everybody, we did it last night. We maxed out the webinar room. How about that? So sorry if you tried to log on to the live Take Back Your Health event last night that was broadcast from 8 to 9 p.m. Central Time. It's the first time we've ever maxed out a webinar room. Quite frankly, being a little technologically illiterate, I didn't even know that you could max out a webinar room. I think we had 100 people in the room, 99 plus me. I think we had at least 100, 150, maybe even 200 people waiting in the wings. So if you attempted to log into the webinar last night and could not get in, if you got the error message that there's too many people in the room, sorry, just go to my website, fireyourmdnow.com, and right there on the front page I will post a recording of the webinar that you can watch from the comfort of your own home 24/7. No time constraints, no restrictions whatsoever. Just point and click and watch. And we are putting a structure in place, even as we speak, to make sure that this does not happen again. Quite frankly, it's a good problem to have, right? Growing a little bit too big, it's not a bad problem to have. And we are on top of the technology now, fixing this so that in the future the webinar room can hold as many people as want to come on board to the webinar room. And this is, by the way, I was struck last night by one thing. At the end of the formal presentation, after I, gave my my little spiel about what's going on with medicine in the United States and what people can do as a first step to attempt to take back their health, when I opened up the chat room, once the formal presentation was over and I opened up the chat room, I was overwhelmed, quite frankly, with the amount of questions that we were asked by people in the chat room. And it was actually not a problem to me. I mean, I'm only one person and I couldn't address everybody's concerns, but my point is, everybody's sick. Everybody's suffering. Everybody has a problem. Everybody has something that they're dealing with. It was overwhelming to me how many people that logged on last night that attended the webinar were having trouble. I mean, for goodness sake, we are a nation of the walking wounded. Why are we a nation of the walking wounded? Because we're going to the MDs for chronic health concerns. And as fate would have it, the MDs are not trained in how to help us recover from a chronic health condition. They're trained in how to help us manage the chronic health condition with pharmaceuticals and surgery, and that just doesn't cut it. No pun intended. It was really an eye-opener to me last night. For some reason, it hit home. When I'm giving lectures in front of groups of people, I don't know, it doesn't have the same impact, but it impacted me last night. Everybody in this country is suffering. There is a massive amount of human suffering that is happening right now because we've all taken the wrong dog to the hunt. We've all gone to the wrong doctor. We didn't even know there was another dog in the hunt. We did not know that there were science-based, clinically verified alternatives to drugs and surgery for most chronic health complaints. We just didn't know that. So let me line it up for you right here and right now. And by next week on the website, I'm going to have one page that's dedicated to this, all right? Actually, I can promise this by Friday. Now, by Friday on my website, you will have access to the health recovery page. It'll be free. You won't need a subscription. You won't need to purchase a darn thing. All you'll need to do is just log on to fireyourmdnow.com and click on this page and watch a little presentation that I'm putting together. It's called the 4 Health Categories. Because our message is that healing is easy. Number 1, the MD is not the king of medicine. And number 2, healing is easy. Surgery is complicated. Healing is easy. There are simple things that everybody can do without the assistance of a physician, without the need for a health or medical consultation. There are things that anybody can implement and put into place right now with just a little bit of direction, and I'm going to give you that direction for free You can implement these steps right now as a first step in order to help your body recover its health. Basically, what we've done is we have broken down most chronic health conditions into 4 health categories. 4 health categories. So you just read the list, see what your diagnosis is, see what the knucklehead MDs told you that you have, and then reference the list and see which health category that problem falls inside of, and then point and click on the medical nutrition products to help you recover your health inside of that health condition, and life is good. Because our basic premise here is there are 2 fundamental things that you need to do in order to support and promote your body's ability to fix itself. Number 1, you have to stop eating foods that are hurting your body. You are unwittingly listening to the food industry and listening to medical doctors tell you what to eat. You're listening to people who have skin in the game and who have no training in nutrition tell you what to eat. And that's just a bad move on your part. You know, and I can't really blame you, because that's the way that life has rolled out here in the 21st century, the 20th and the 21st century here in the good old US of A. We are in the teeth of corporate media, and they are chewing us up and spitting us out left, right, center, and all around 24/7. You have listened to the people who sell food tell you what food to eat, and they are wrong. So number 1, you wouldn't put diesel fuel in an unleaded engine, would you? You wouldn't put unleaded fuel in a diesel engine, would you? Well, stop eating wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Stop eating oil in a bottle. Stop eating fried food. Stop eating well-done red meat. Stop eating meat that has nitrates added as preservatives to it. Stop eating the skins of baked potatoes, yams, and sweet potatoes. And do not wash down a meal with a carbonated beverage. Eliminate those 10 foods from your diet as soon as possible. And right, I give you that list for free. Again, there's a lot of free stuff here, because remember, healing is easy. And people are suffering needlessly just for lack of knowledge. So, you know, we try our very best to make it as easy as possible, not only on your brain, but also on your budget. So go to fireyourmdnow.com, click on the opt-in for my free monthly newsletter, and when you opt in for the newsletter, I'll send you a link to a page on my website that has the good food, bad food diet right there. You can just click on it and download it, and a little video that explains why, and it's free. So go to firemymdnow.com, firemymdnow.com, and opt in for my free email newsletter. Number 1. Number 2, when the page is up and you've discovered the health category that your condition is inside of, you just point and click on the products that Dr. Wallach recommends, the nutritional supplements that Dr. Wallach recommends in order to support and promote that part of your body. It's very, very easy. So these are the 2 things we need to do. Clean up our diet, stop eating the food that's hurting us, number 1. And number 2, take nutritional supplements. Fill your body's nutritional tank up with the appropriate supplements. Give your body enough bone support. Give your body enough joint support. Give your body enough liver and kidney and heart and skin support. Give your body enough lung support. Give your body enough brain support. Give your body every day the nutrients that it needs to sustain and maintain its health, and 9 times out of 10 it does just that. It's really, really so simple, folks. I mean, it really is so simple. So when you clean your diet up and take the appropriate nutritional supplements, in good recipes, by the way, appropriate for your body weight, when you take this stuff into your body every day and clean up your diet, most of the time, that's all that's necessary in order to support and promote your body's ability to fix itself. So every couple of weeks, your joint pain gets better. Every couple of weeks, your blood sugar numbers get better. Every couple of weeks, your blood pressure numbers get better. Every couple of weeks, your heart values on your blood work get better. Every couple of weeks, your INR readings for how coagulable your blood is get better. Things improve. You lose weight without even trying. Your sleep gets better. Your energy gets better. Your mood gets better. And then, you know, once you've recovered your health so much by just letting more time go by, that letting more time go by with your body having good, new-fashioned medical nutrition inside of it, once your blood pressure has completely stabilized, once your blood sugars have completely stabilized, I want you to call your MD up and tell them that you have an eye problem. And they'll say, really? What's the problem? Well, you knucklehead, I can't see you anymore because I recovered my health in 6 weeks. I normalized my blood pressure in 6 weeks, and you've been managing it for 6 years. You're fired. I can't see you anymore. Healing is easy, folks. Give your body the medical nutrition that it needs. Clean your diet up. And as God is my witness, you don't need a doctor's consult. You don't need an office visit. Once a year, it'd be a prudent idea for everybody to get a certain amount of blood work done, a certain amount of blood work, and analyze it nutritionally so that you know where your body's weak, if there in fact are any weaknesses. These are good things to do. It's appropriate to measure your blood pressure a couple of times a year. It's appropriate to do a certain amount of lab tests every 2, 3, 4, or 5 years, and I've outlined all of this in the online health recovery program on my website, $17 a month. You can just point and click your way to health because healing is easy and knowledge is power. Inform yourself, ladies and gentlemen, because we don't know what we don't know. And when it comes to your health, the stuff that you don't know will heal you or kill you. As God is my witness, the most important thing that anybody can do for their health is to fire their MDs. Clean up your diet. Take the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for your body weight into your body every day, and then sit back and let God and nature do the rest. Your body knows how to heal itself. Your body knows how to fix itself. And if you give it the opportunity, it'll do just that. Robert is calling with a question about elephantiasis. How about that? Robert, welcome aboard. You are live with Dr. Glidden.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what's up?
I'm sorry. How can we deal with elephantiasis? It legs swell up and got a rough scale on it, and they're just big.
Yes, this is from your waist down, right?
Yes. Especially from the knee on down.
Yeah, okay. And how long's it been going on, Robert?
Oh, God. Long time. For years.
Yeah, and how old are you and how much do you weigh?
Pardon?
How old are you, Robert, and how much do you weigh?
I'm 63.
Yeah.
And I weigh about 300 pounds.
Okay. All right, so here's the deal. Elephantiasis, by the way, for the folks in the listening audience, is a gigantic, hence the name elephantiasis, swelling of any part of the body. It most commonly happens from the knees down into the feet, but can also happen from the waist down. Quite frankly, you can have it in any part of the body, but it's most commonly associated with the lower extremities just because of gravity. And it's quite remarkable to me that the MDs in all of their pomp and circumstance don't know what causes this, because it's really quite elementary from a physiological point of view. The single most common cause from my point of view of elephantiasis, which is a really large accumulation of water and fluid in any part of your body. In Robert's case, it's in his legs. The reason that this is happening, Robert, is because there's not enough protein in your blood. When there's not enough protein in your blood, a reverse osmotic gradient becomes set up, and the blood vessels that normally have water inside of them lose their water into the surrounding tissue, kind of like if you put a sponge down on a wet countertop, it sucks up all the water. Well, when there's not enough protein in your blood, the tissue around your blood vessels sucks up all the intracellular fluids, the excessive plasma, and you get swelling in the legs. Now, this is caused by not enough protein in the blood. Now, if you don't have enough protein in the blood, there's only two things that cause that. either you're not eating enough protein or you're not absorbing the protein that you're eating. So this begs the question, were you ever the victim of a gastric bypass? Have you had a gastric bypass surgery?
Never had that.
Okay, very good. Do you still have your appendix?
Yeah.
And you still have your gallbladder?
Yeah.
Good man. And were you ever diagnosed with celiac disease or Crohn's disease or have chronic constipation or diarrhea?
I've covered that sometimes.
All right. What about heartburn?
Patient. And then, what else, Jack?
Heartburn. You ever have heartburn on and off?
On and off once in a while, yeah.
Okay. So, probably then, the problem in your system is an absorption problem with protein. So, what I would like you to do as an experiment for the next 7 days is every time you eat a meal, I want 80% of the meal to be protein. I want you to be eating eggs. I want you to be eating chicken. I want you to be eating fish and steak and hamburger and rice and beans together in the same meal. I want you to snack on mixed salted nuts between meals. I want you to have protein, 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 and then more protein for 7 days as an experiment. Just max out on protein, man. And in that 7 days, I want you to see what happens to the swelling in your legs. And I'm going to bet you 25 cents that if you start eating lots and lots of protein, the swelling in the legs is going to reduce. It wouldn't hurt also to go to a health food store or get in touch with a longevity representative and get the ultimate enzymes or a digestive enzyme and take 2 before a meal. Robert, are you still with me?
I'm right here.
All right, brother. So now there's a lot of ways to skin this cat, man, but the first thing that I want you to do is just eat a boatload of protein 3 times a day for 7 days in a row and see if that doesn't remarkably reduce the swelling in the legs, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, you need to stop eating food that's hurting your body's ability to absorb protein and other nutrients. So this is where the program's going to hurt a little bit. You need to stop eating wheat, barley, rye, and oats. So no bread, no pasta, no bagels, no cookies, no crackers, no pie crust, no nothing that's got wheat flour in it, rye, barley, or oats. No beer, for goodness sake. No oatmeal, no granola. Now, you can have gluten-free grains. You can have gluten-free bread. You can have gluten-free bagels and gluten-free pasta and gluten-free cookies and crackers and cakes and pie crusts and gluten-free whatever you would like. But you have to shop for that stuff. You have to start to look for it. The easiest way to do this for 7 days is just to stop eating anything made from flour. Just stop it. Don't have it. If you'd like to, you can have puffed rice for a cereal, but really what I would like you to do more than that is in the morning for breakfast have bacon and eggs. Make sure that the bacon that you're using does not have nitrates in it. It does not have any nitrates in it, and it'll say that right on the label, nitrate-free. Right? Nitrate-free bacon and eggs. I want you to put butter and salt on it. That's right, salt. I want you to start salting your food so that it tastes good. Don't worry, salt won't do anything to your blood pressure. You've been lied to. Salt is extremely important for your digestion. And for your stomach to properly digest protein or anything else, it needs to have strong stomach acid. And to have strong stomach acid, you need enough salt in your body. So start salting your food with just iodized table salt if you're not doing it already. And max out on protein for the next 7 days. And for 7 days in a row, stop eating bread, stop eating pasta, stop eating bagels, stop eating anything that's made from wheat, barley, rye, and oats. I want you to do that little experiment for 7 days, Robert, and then I want you to call me back with a report, and I want you to tell me what happened. And after you call me back and tell me what happened, I'll tell you how to take this to the next level, because there's two things that you have to do. You have to clean your diet up and stop eating food that's hurting you, and then you need to give your body the nutrients that it needs in order to make itself work. And we're going to take care of that after you've done this 1 week experiment with no bread, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats, and lots of protein. Okay, so that's the first two things I want you to do for the next 7 days, is eliminate anything that has wheat, barley, rye, or oats in it, and eat lots and lots of protein. Does that sound doable?
Sounds good.
All right, Robert. All right, take that on as, as an experiment for 7 days, and then call me back with a report anytime after, 7 days goes by, and I will look forward to that. You're going to love how this makes you feel, and this is phase 1, Robert. We're going to dial in phase 2 next week, so check it out. Thank you so much for the call. Rich is up next. He's calling with a question about arsenic in brown rice. How about that? Rich, you are live with Dr. Glidden. Welcome aboard.
Yes, my questions come from some recent news articles about gluten-free diet and brown and both white and brown rice having high levels of arsenic coming from pesticide and herbicide runoff and whatnot. And my question as far as that goes is, do we really need to worry a lot about that, or do the plants transfer it into a colloidal form, in the process of, the plant being alive and growing and taking the mineral in? And then the other question has to do with GMOs in the gluten-free diet. And, I saw another article that said that you're more likely to be subject to GMOs in the gluten-free diet. Just wanted your comments on those.
Well, Rich, that makes you the smartest man in class, and I'd encourage you to call this radio show frequently, because I love talking to people, with smart questions, all right? This is great stuff to talk about, by the way, so good on you. Go buy yourself a gift, or do something good for yourself tonight, because these are awesome questions, man. Really, really, really good, excellent questions. So let me talk about the first things first. This is controversial, this whole arsenic thing. And, Dr. Oz kind of set this pendulum in motion about 3 or 4 months ago when he did an idiotic program on TV saying, there's too much arsenic in apple juice, right? And then the apple juice industry got into an uproar because all of a sudden nobody in the U.S. was buying apple juice anymore. And this is what happens when you take nutritional advice from an MD. The only thing that you should ever consider as worthwhile coming out of the mouth of an allopathic MD is information about how pharmaceutical drugs affect the metabolism of your body and what the survivorship rates from surgery are like. That's what they're trained in. That's what they know. That's what they're trained in. That's what they know. You wouldn't ask your postman, about arsenic in apple juice. Well, why the heck would you ask an MD? Because they have no training in this. They have no clinical experience in it. They don't even have any appreciation for medical nutrition, except when it's kind of, a noteworthy news-generating thing. If you're a guy like Dr. Oz and stakes his whole career on how many people tune into him every day, he'll say whatever the heck he needs to in order to generate an audience, quite frankly. Now, interestingly enough, there are 60 essential minerals that the human body needs, 60 essential minerals. One of the essential minerals is arsenic. How about that? And in the progressive clinics, the more progressive leukemia clinics that really you can't find that many of anymore, because since chemotherapy has become in vogue, all other cancer treatments have taken, a back seat. And quite frankly, it's not profitable for most hospitals to practice any type of cancer treatment other than chemo and radiation therapy or in surgery, so they just don't do it. And I'm going to have a colleague of mine on in a couple of weeks, Dr. Jim Sensenig, who's going to talk to us a lot about the history of cancer treatment in the United States and the stuff that they were doing that actually was very effective before they started getting on the chemotherapy train. And the only reason that they're on the chemotherapy train is because of profits. And so stay tuned for that. But I digress, okay? So arsenic, believe it or not, is an essential nutrient in the human body, and you need it. And one of the things that arsenic does is it helps to prevent leukemia. and there were some very progressive cancer treatment centers in Boston and New York State that were using arsenic, intravenous arsenic, as a treatment for leukemia, and they were having great success with it. So arsenic is not the boogeyman that it has been made out to be, you know, by that old play Arsenic and Old Lace. Now, too much arsenic will kill you. Well, so will too much aspirin. So will too much oxygen. Just ask any scuba diver. Too much oxygen at depth will kill you, as will nitrogen. Too much sunlight will kill you. If you're on a life raft in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and the sun is beating down on you, it's the sun that kills you. So too much of anything, I guess, except love, right? We could make that argument that too much love is good for you, but other than that, notwithstanding that, too much of anything will kill you. There is a lethal dose of just about anything, and it's the same with arsenic. However, arsenic in colloidal amounts, arsenic in microscopic amounts, in microgram amounts, in a colloidal form, is actually harmful and beneficial, and we consider it an essential nutrient to the human body. Now, is it possible to get too much arsenic? Yeah, but on a relative scale of things, worrying about how much arsenic is in the food, while not paying any attention to your body's nutritional needs, it's like worrying about a mosquito bite that you have, while your other leg has a compound fracture and an open wound, and there's an artery that's spurting blood. That's going to kill you if that's not attended to. And maybe the mosquito bite, well, maybe it had a malaria in it. Maybe it had West Nile virus. Maybe. It's kind of a long shot. I don't think so. Kind of a long shot. Meanwhile, I got a compound fracture of my femur and my artery is leaking blood. That's going to kill me. So on a relative scale of things, it's much more important to dial in the 90 essential nutrients every day than to worry about arsenic in the food. And it's a valid thing to worry about, but really it's not on my radar at all. What's much more important is to focus on securing the 90 essential nutrients, because I tell you what, man, I think it's really quite difficult to get a lethal amount of arsenic in your body, but it is extremely easy to not have enough calcium. It is extremely easy to not have enough magnesium. It is extremely easy to not have enough of the B vitamins. And when these nutrients are not present in the body, things start to decay and break. Holy Christmas, there's 278 illnesses, 278 that are caused by not enough calcium. And the media has us all in a frenzy about arsenic. So it's not on my radar. I really don't think it should be on yours. And is it a good thing to stay abreast of? Yes. But quite frankly, nobody really knows, how much of this stuff is present in the food. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a non-starter. Now, GMO foods are different. Genetically modified foods are outlawed in Europe. And they've been proven to cause cancer, they've been proven to cause inflammatory conditions, and they're just not good for the body. And it's another vain attempt by arrogant, atheistic MDs to, think that they're smarter than God. When you start messing around with the genetic material of vegetables or fruits or plants or animals, you're going to screw something up, and you are going to create unintended consequences. Because that is a gigantic, you're throwing a wrench into a very sophisticated and beautiful system of gears. You're just throwing a wrench into it and keeping your fingers crossed that something doesn't break. Well, guess what? Something breaks all of the time. So, however, again, on the scale of things to worry about, it's much more important to worry about whether you have enough of the 90 essential nutrients in your body than worrying about whether you just ate a food that's been genetically modified. Because, it's a kind of like comparing, I'm the king of metaphors, right? It's kind of like comparing somebody sneaking around your property with a high-powered rifle, and, trying to get you, and somebody sneaking around your property with a switchblade trying to get you. Well, the guy with the high-powered rifle is much more dangerous. So, really, we need to keep abreast of all of these things, and we need to have an eagle eye out for all of these things because, the agricultural industry has cooked the books, and they don't care. But really, when it comes right down to it, what do we need? We need 90 for life. We need 90 for life every day for the rest of our life. Stop eating the 10 bad foods. That's a good start. Then you can start to worry about genetically modified stuff, but Nutrify first. You know, it's easy to not see the forest for the trees, right? And this is what we lean on here are the fundamentals, and the fundamentals will see you through all of the time. But we don't talk about the fundamentals enough in our popular culture. In our popular culture, we get sidetracked by, reactionary things like, arsenic or, GMOs. Now, I don't want to downplay the net negative effects of these things, right? These are problematic, and in large amounts, they're going to really, really hurt you. However, what's very present all of the time, and which is a much larger threat to your health and your well-being, is a lack of nutrients. I mean, Linus Pauling, two-time Nobel Prize winner Linus Pauling said, I quote, everybody who dies from a chronic disease dies from a mineral deficiency. That's unquote. That's a strong statement. Everybody who dies of a chronic disease dies from a mineral deficiency. Because minerals are 2/3 of your body's nutritional needs. 2/3. Your body needs minerals more than it needs anything else. And when you cremate somebody, the ash that's left is all minerals. It's all minerals, mostly minerals. It's like 99% minerals. It's all minerals and a little bit of carbon, right? Which is a mineral. So, our body's need for minerals is extreme, and minerals drive all enzymatic processes in the human body. They drive they're responsible for all your nerve transmissions. There's not one single solitary metabolic thing that happens in your body that doesn't require a mineral. And it even says this in the Old Testament, right? From the dust, man was created from the dust. Well, what's the dust? It's minerals. It's the stuff of the earth. We are made from the earth. What is the earth? It's mostly minerals. This is a very, very important thing. This is so important to our overall health that on a relative scale of things, if by some genie in the bottle magic, we were to all wake up, on December 22nd, 2012, after the planets align and after the solar system passes through the galactic plane and after Planet X comes back or whatever's going to happen, God only knows. Maybe what will happen is we'll all wake up and we'll all have a clear understanding of what's going on. And I'm Dr. Wallach and myself and every other longevity representative in this world are helping in this regard. It's like the 100th monkey. There was a very interesting study that was done years ago where researchers, and I think it was Madagascar, which is an island off of the southeastern tip of Africa, made famous by the animated kids movie, right? Scientists were studying a group of monkeys. I forget what kind of monkeys they were. But it was monkeys run in tribes or packs, right? And this group of monkeys found that if they took papayas, I think it was a papaya fruit or some type of fruit that they ate, and when the papaya fell off of the tree into the dirt or onto the sand, because a lot of these fruit trees would grow on riverbanks, when the fruit fell into the sand or into the dirt, it was covered with dirt. And one of the monkeys found that if he threw the fruit into the water would wash away the dirt, and then you could just pick the fruit up and eat the fruit. You wouldn't have to clean it off. The water just did it instantly. Before they figured out how to do this, and they think it was by accident, the monkeys would have to pick, the pieces of dirt off. It took a long time, but they just drop it in the water and boom, the dirt just dissolves away. Well, one monkey started to do this, reportedly by accident, and the anthropologists were in the blinds, watching this behavior and filming it. And this behavior started to be repeated in the tribe of monkeys. Within a couple of weeks, every monkey in the whole tribe was throwing their food in the water and washing it. And it was like eureka, the monkey tribe figured it out. Well, when the entire tribe started washing their fruit in the water, a tribe of monkeys on the other side of the island with no physical contact with this group started washing their fruit in the water too. and nobody knows how. It's collective consciousness. Once we all reach a certain level of open-mindedness, once we all realize that what we really need for health is 90 for life, once we get to that 100th monkey point, everything's going to change. You want to be a part of that? Join us. Go to fireyourmdnow.com, click on the Longevity tab, and join my grassroots coalition of the informed. You don't know what you don't know, and when it comes to your health, the stuff you don't know will heal you or help you. As God is my witness, I'm here to help you. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned.